Hey, book review time. This time I'm going to review this sucker here. Rick Warren's The Purpose-Driven Life. This is it's a good book. But to give you some context, this is a Christian book. Okay, let's just put that out there. And I didn't agree with everything that was in here. However, it's a powerful book and one that non-Christians and Christians alike can get something out of. So let me address that. The basic idea of the purpose-driven life is to address this concept that you can't really know how to run your own life, and really the thrust behind it that is how to shape your life and your thinking to serve a higher power and to listen and connect to God. Um, and so it talks a lot about serving others, but it also talks a lot about reorienting your thinking about how to even conceptualize the entire notion that there's a divine being that created you on purpose, that has a plan for you, that and so chapter by chapter, I mean, especially the first 10 chapters or so, it's split up into 40 chapters, each a few pages, but the first 10 chapters will be the conflict. What's great about the purpose-driven life for anyone, doesn't matter what your belief structure is that chapter by chapter, especially at the very beginning, you will struggle with it. It's a fight. And that makes it interesting. I highly recommend reading the first chapters only one a day and be very disciplined about it. After that, it sort of becomes simpler, and I think probably because it becomes more dogmatic. That is a criticism, actually. So let me sort of get the good and bad sort of cleaned up here, because I didn't plan this review. Once again, I should think ahead. Okay. This book really did have an effect on me. It helped me realize a lot of things, like the fact that this universe was not constructed just for me. Which, you know, I'm sure you're hearing that and going, well, obviously. but, but no, you know what? We tend to, on an instinct level, forget about that. And this helps reach into your instincts and readjust. I have found, since I committed myself to adopting these frames of references that the book teaches, my life has become a lot easier. I've become more productive, and things seem to work out a lot better. Effectively, the book generates an effect. Um, where I had a problem with the book was when he gets very dogmatic. This book is written from the perspective that if it's in the Bible, it's correct. The Bible's an infallible document. Lots of Christians feel that way. I never did, ever, ever. Like, there are things in the Bible that we don't do because they're illegal. There are things in the Bible that really don't add up or that conflict with each other. It's not an infallible document as far as I'm concerned. However, uh, if you feel that way, if you feel it's an infallible document, this book will back you up, and it will go through how to process that, how to conduct your life at church, how to conduct your life in small groups, how to conduct your life when addressing people who don't agree with you, uh, in very positive ways, very, very positive ways. And it really gets down to how to deal and grapple with every stupid little moment, every little thing that goes on in your life. It misses nothing, and in that way, it's a complete way of life. The purpose-driven life is not just a step one, step two process. It's a frame of reference for the universe. And whether you agree with it or not, that's fascinating. So worth reading, and not that big. So I mean, it's just a small paperback. I don't know how many pages, just about 300, including the appendix. And you know what? I highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in philosophy, who's interested in understanding where Christians come from in general, anyone who is a Christian and really wants to wrap their heads around uh, how exactly they're supposed to be living their life, because the Ten Commandments really don't cover it. The Beatitudes help, but this sort of gathers it all together and concentrates it in plain English. There are times where he'll say something, and then you'll think immediately, well, why are you saying that? And he'll say, because the Bible says so. And then he'll quote something, but that really won't answer why. I mean, why does the Bible say so then? Why? Why? The why stuff not addressed. That's a little annoying. But that doesn't come up too often. It just does happen. Often enough for us people who don't take everything at face value to have a real struggle. But I will say that despite the problems I had here, I got a lot out of this book. It did change my life. It really did. It changed. It asked a lot of me. It asked me to be brave in many ways. A lot of people think religion is a crutch. This is a great example of how to demonstrate that religion is not a crutch. It's a challenge, and it's tough to step up to. It asks you to have faith in someone that you can't talk to like a regular person, God. It asks you to go through some bad times expecting a good result out of it that you may or may not even be aware of for years. That's hard. The weakness in us is to get bitter, cynical, and walk away. This asks you to stick with it, stay tough. If you follow this book, you will have what they used to call character. They used to talk about building character back when people actually worried about what was going on inside of you. I mean, these days with the age of self-help, nobody gives a crap who you are on the inside. They just care about your, skill and your functionality. This talks about who you are on the inside, about making you into a hell of a guy or gal. And that means something. That means something. There's not too many people who do that anymore. And on that level, in that measure, if you follow the purpose-driven life, you will be a hell of a guy or gal. um, it's good on that level. Like I said, I've got dogmatic, religious, too much thinking problems with it, but overall, I gotta give this book a thumbs up and highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for, trying to figure out what the hell is going on in their life and trying to figure out what they're supposed to do next. This isn't a bad answer.